Rebekah's crisis. The words of the prophecy rang in Rebekah's head. She had held those mysterious words in her heart since before the birth of the twins. They had done nothing to console her pain. They only fueled her confusion and apprehension. She looked towards the entrance of Isaac's tent anxiously, the words reverberating in her mind. 2 peoples are in your womb. 2 nations from your insides shall be separated. 1 nation shall strengthen over the other nation, and the elder shall serve the younger. Rebekah could not bear the tension much longer. Esau, her eldest, was approaching blind Isaac's tent, and what seemed like an eternity, Jacob, young, sweet Jacob, had not yet exited. She sat discreetly and quietly outside Isaac's tent. Esau brusquely opened the flap of the tent and strode in, but still there was no Jacob. Rebekah held her breath for the imminent explosion. She knew Esau's temper. Esau would immediately understand Jacob's impersonating him, and the charade would be over. The blessings might indeed turn into a curse, as Jacob feared, perhaps even violently so. Then, from within the folds of the tent, Jacob silently stepped out unnoticed and left the area. Thank you, God, Rebekah thought to herself with great relief. Jacob received the blessing that Isaac intended for Esau, undiscovered. Esau's growing agitation was heard clearly from the outside. The confusion emanating from the tent was palpable, and then she heard a blood-curdling scream. No! Esau moaned. What have I done? Rebekah asked herself. She could not believe her ears. Her strong, forceful son Esau started crying a bitter, deep cry that cut her to the bone. Have you but one blessing, Father? Esau pleaded. Bless me too, Father. I am sorry, my son, Rebekah told herself. I had no choice. The prophecy must be fulfilled. You are truly not worthy to succeed Isaac. The elder shall serve the younger. Isaac bestowed some makeshift blessing on Esau. Esau left his father's tent in a fury, with murder on his mind. The blood drained from Rebekah's face when she caught a glimpse of his eyes. He will kill my Jacob. I must warn him. I must get Jacob away from here. There were a few minutes of silence in the tent as Isaac composed himself. Rebekah, my wife, Isaac called out. I know you can hear me. Please come in. Rebekah gracefully entered the tent and knelt on one knee beside her sightless husband. Yes, my husband. Please sit, my dearest. Thank you, Isaac. Rebekah, I know you orchestrated this deception. Why did you not discuss this with me? Isaac asked in a pained voice. Rebekah was prepared for this moment. I must break the news to him gently. Isaac loves Esau so. He is blind to Esau's evil, to his anger and fury. I myself do not know where it comes from. Would you have listened to my words? You are wise and kind-hearted. Your words are always of great value. That is his polite way of saying no. I was right to deceive him. I must tread carefully. I must protect Jacob so he will fulfill the birthright. The elder shall serve the younger. Esau is not the innocent that you imagine. He is not worthy of continuing your traditions. He is the eldest. He is a man of the world. Fulfilling the birthright requires a certain roughness, a capacity for leadership. Esau possesses these attributes, even more than I do, and more than Jacob. He does not see, he does not understand. He is justifying his blind love for Esau. He should understand by now. Nonetheless, my darling, he can be cruel, even wicked, Rebekah retorted. This is not our way. It is not your way. It is not what your father Abraham would have wanted. So now, my love, you are the interpreter of my father's traditions? Isaac asked with some incredulity. I must try a different angle. I must bring some proof and move him to action. He will not be persuaded with unverified accusations. Look at Esau's wives. They are idol worshippers. I'm disgusted with my life on account of these daughters of Heth, Rebekah stated vehemently. If Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth like these, of the daughters of the land, why should I live? Isaac was taken aback by Rebekah's ferocity. For the third time in one day, he found himself confused and disoriented, surprised by each encounter, yet feeling greater revelation at each. He did not respond, but leaned forward, pensively, looking at nothing. Isaac could perceive that God's hand had been heavily involved in the day's events. Isaac had always presumed that Esau was the correct choice, yet God had clearly intervened. Jacob had shown great courage and skill in impersonating Esau. And the blessing held. Isaac had felt the divine presence endorse the blessing. Jacob is truly blessed now. There must be some validity to the claim sale of Esau's birthright to Jacob. The more Isaac thought about it, the more he realized that Rebekah was right. As much as it pained him, he realized Esau was not the one. It would be Jacob. The elder shall serve the younger. Rebekah looked at Isaac's flowing features. His face seemed to contort with the emotions of his thoughts. Have I pushed him too hard? How do we get past this? Esau was too rough, Isaac thought. However, he showed such tremendous respect to Isaac that it was such a pleasure to have him around. The strong, confident, fearless son had been Isaac's hope for the future. But it was not to be. God had indicated as much. Isaac held out his right hand to Rebekah. Instinctively, Rebekah placed her hand in his. Isaac covered her hand with his left hand and gently caressed it. Love of my life, Isaac said softly. Why has it come to this? Why must you manipulate and scheme behind my back? Is there no trust between us? Is there no trust left in this family, in the descendants of Abraham? Small tears started to roll down Rebekah's face. Oh, Isaac, I love him so much. How do I explain my deception? How do I tell him about the secret prophecy I have carried for so long? How do I show him what he refuses to see? Despite our instructions and efforts, Esau has taken an evil path, Rebekah said softly. It breaks my heart to see it, but we must remember our mission. We cannot forsake the God of your father and the kindness and goodness that he directs. Jacob is the one that will follow your path. The blessings you have now bestowed confirm that. Now we need to ensure he marries properly for the sake of the next generation. You have not answered my question, Isaac said as he tenderly wiped the tears he could not see from Rebekah's cheek. Do you think I am so blind that I do not know my own children? Stubborn. He is focusing on the charade and not on what we need to do next. He has been deeply offended by the deception. I am sorry, Rebekah answered. I did not see another way. Esau has always been your favorite. I did not believe you would change your mind just by my suggesting so. I could not take a chance that the wrong child would receive your blessing. What about trust? How can there be love? How can there be marriage or a relationship without trust? And now it was Isaac who shed tears. He is in so much pain. Please, God, help me. I do not know what to say anymore. Isaac and Rebekah sat quietly, holding each other's hands. It is God's will, Isaac announced. Perhaps my blindness is not only physical. This issue of the children has divided us for some time. We should never have chosen favorites. Yes, now he begins to understand. I showed too much affection and understanding towards Esau, Isaac continued. The acts of the fathers are a sign for the sons. It seems I have repeated the mistake of another. Just as Abraham accepted and justified Ishmael's behavior, he has turned a blind eye to Esau's. Isaac, we have both made mistakes, Rebekah explained, her hand still in his. Let us learn from them, but not harp on them. Please do not doubt my commitment, dedication, and love for you. I will do whatever is necessary to fulfill your life's work, even if it means deceiving you or hiding things from you. Isaac faced her with sightless eyes. It must have been very difficult for you. You were very strong and brave to engineer and accomplish the ruse. Thank you, God, he understands. Isaac and Rebekah embraced and held on to each other silently. A chasm of many years had finally been bridged. "Let us call for Jacob," Isaac stated. "I will reconfirm my blessings to him, this time aware of his true identity. I will direct him to find wives from your family, and not from the daughters of the land." "Thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My mission is set, and my love has returned to me."